everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft New Nintendo 3DS Edition Let's Play video, and this is part 153 of my Let's Play series. And as you can see already, the new format that I announced in my GenSpace Rewind 2021 is now in place. The screen also fills in more of the area. I made lots of changes to the background music as well as the way the voiceover audio is edited, as well as some general edits in this video. So as you will see as I begin to use my bottom screen, there'll be some edits that come up that correlate with it. So when I open up my inventory, as you can see, a book comes up correlating with the Take an Inventory achievement. And when I open a chest, for example, there'll be a kind of a different thing that will play for that. So this is just kind of like a small little redesign for my Minecraft 3DS Let's Play series just to keep things more interesting. I mean, it really hasn't been that long since I've made extensive changes to my Minecraft 3DS series, because the last time I did that was back in my GenSpace Direct in July for my 4-year anniversary of my channel. And ever since then, I think the previous format has been fine, but I figured why don't I change it further by making it slightly better, and that's what this is today. There are also a few other minor improvements that you may also notice as well in this video and future videos. So yeah, there you go. Those are the changes that I made to the redesign of the format of this series. And of course, as the episodes go along, more will probably change, but these are just the changes happening in this video forward. So in this video today, we're actually doing some more progress on my library from the last video, because we really did not get to work on it all that much. Because in the last video, we really just focused on my Christmas stuff, my Christmas decor, as well as the featured comments. So that's kind of the main focus of the previous video. However, the main focus of this video today is going to be the library. So let's go ahead and go over here. I did do a few things in the last video, as you can tell. So the stone brick now goes all the way around, and I actually think I am going to bring the stone brick all the way up, even across the spruce wall over here, just because I think it would just look a lot better if it's consistent. So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to do that. Plus, if I want to put designs in the wall, I do not want to dig on the outside wall, obviously, because that would lead to the outside, and you would see it from the outside, so I would not want that. So we're just going to get started off by doing some of the stone brick, and I am going to have to go back home because I do have some cobblestone smelting in those furnaces, so I'll have to go grab some of that pretty soon once I run out. But I do have a lot on me right now, so I should be fine for a little bit. At least for this video, I might be fine, so we may not have to go back to my house. But I do need a crafting table because I need to make shovels to dig out all of this ground. And for some reason, I never brought one. So here we go, making another crafting table, yet another. And at the end of the season, I think I'm actually going to count out and see how many crafting tables I actually have in my chest and inventory, just to see how many I have created. Honestly, may not even be all the crafting tables I made, because some I've either used as fuel in furnaces, or some I've just thrown away, so. But still, I think it'd still be kind of like an accurate representation of how much I've actually created. And also in this video, you may have noticed that the Christmas decor is still up. And yes, it is January, but this video will probably most likely be the last video that the Christmas decorations are there. Mainly just because, well, the Christmas season's over. But I just figured that keeping them for one more video would kind of be like a nice thing to have. But the next episode, they will most likely be gone. At least the Christmas tree inside and out will most likely be gone. But the other stuff may stay for a little bit. The lights on my house and the garland on the Japanese house in my house, that might stay for like 1 or 2 more episodes. But the Christmas tree will most likely be gone by the next episode. So we'll go ahead and grab another shovel. And hopefully this will be the last one I need, because I don't want to make too many shovels, because I don't want to just start using up inventory space. Because as you can see, my inventory is almost full. And the flooring, as I've already mentioned, is going to be an oak and birch alternation. And as you can see, the oak that I placed in the last video and the birch as well is gone. And I actually have some of the stuff that I have left from the last video, and that's because I just had some typical Citra issues where the game would just crash. So unfortunately, I was not able to save the stuff that I did to the flooring, at least in the last video, but it's not that big of a deal because that's all I managed to lose. Sometimes, because I'm using the Citra emulator for this Let's Play now, sometimes it crashes on occasion. It doesn't happen every single time I record, but occasionally it does. And when it does, of course, I lose everything that I did if I didn't save, of course. So I need to make sure I save often, otherwise I will risk my game crashing and I'll just lose everything that I did. It's just a minor inconvenience that I had to deal with by using Citra, but of course, there's pros and cons to using every method of 3DS recording. Citra is just a lot simpler to record, it comes out better quality, but the cons is that it's not the most stable. And of course, recording my 3DS screen, it's not the best quality, but it is the most stable. but it's also not the most convenient either because I have to make sure I have a pretty good recording setup, which I thought I did before I switched over to Citra Recording. It's just that Citra Recording for this series is way better. And don't get me wrong, I still play Minecraft on my actual 3DS quite often. I do have a personal survival on there, and I do use it for speedrun purposes still, because I don't like speedrunning Minecraft 3DS on emulators, so that's why I still use it on my actual 3DS. So if you guys are wondering why I still use my 3DS for speedrun videos, that's kind of the reason. Because speedrunning on emulators just kind of sucks. Because the Citra is pretty sensitive to fast movements, because if you start loading in chunks too quickly, it crashes pretty often, so that's kind of the main reason why I decide to avoid doing that. Alright, so there's only a few blocks left to break, and here we go. So now we are complete. Yes, birch stairs, I am going to use them in the flooring, but when you look at birch stairs from the top, they look like regular blocks, so I'll show you guys right now. Like, look, when I place down birch stairs, it looks like regular blocks. You wouldn't even be able to tell these are stairs. And the only reason why I'm using these is because I have no other use for them right now. So I might as well just use them up in this way. So I think I may have some bad news, though. I think I may actually have to go back to my house just because I realized I ran out of my birch. And I do have some more at my house, so I'm going to have to go grab that as well. And while I'm there, I'll also grab the stone bricks as well. And another shocker. It's getting nighttime already. Like, when did I start this video? I started this video right after I went to sleep. And then I started recording, and look at that. The stars are already appearing in the sky. That nighttime lasted nothing. Okay, maybe I just realized I am going to need some birch stairs, so maybe I'll go put them away. Maybe I didn't really judge that very well. Okay, and now I've made it back to my house, so let's go ahead and grab all these stone from the furnace first. As you can see, it's cooking. And I did use a lava bucket this time, but as you can see, the amount of fuel left is pretty low, but my inventory is also full, so we need to empty that first. Then I'm going to go ahead and put back the white wool that's in here as well, because it's also taking up inventory space. This arrow and a bow, because I'm not really going to need those things right now, and the shears I won't need either. And you might be wondering what these item frames are for, and well, I'll find some place to use them in the library. They're left over from my 4K room, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with them yet, but I'll find some use for them eventually. So yeah, as you can see, the furnaces just ran out of fuel from that lava bucket, so they did definitely last a long time, but not long enough to cook this rest of the cobblestone, unfortunately. So now let's go ahead and head back to the mansion. Alright, and now I'm back, so let's go ahead and grab one stack of birch and see how far this gets me, as well as the stack of oak that I have as well. Luckily I have enough oak because I have a whole 36 of logs as well, so that should be plenty for this whole flooring area. Okay, and now it is almost done. So I did actually have enough wood, barely enough oak, but birch, oh man, I'm quite a bit short on birch as you can see, but I just had to fill in this area and the rest of this, so we're pretty close. But as you can see, this is the design of the floor, and I think it does look pretty nice overall. So let's actually start placing some of the bookshelves. Now, I've already said that there may be some on the floor, and I also need to take into consideration these stairs as well. So let's create some stone brick stairs real quick. Just a few. So we're up to 10, and then the stairs are, because the entrance of this room is going to be right over here. So the stairs are going to have to be somewhere in the middle. So I'm thinking that they'll probably start right on this block. And then behind this, of course, there will be upside down stairs that lead to the next set, like so. Once I, of course, place down some bookshelves, because now that I have the stairs in place, I can start placing down the bookshelves. And I do have 17, but unfortunately I ran out of leather, so I'm going to have to go find more of that. And maybe I'll go back to the village in the snow biome, and hopefully I can find some bookshelves there if there was a library, because I can't recall if there was, but I'm pretty sure there was, so hopefully I can get some from there. And then probably up to this point, I would say, yeah, and then it's going to go over to the wall, and then it's going to be a landing, then it's going to go up in either direction, kind of like the foyer stairs are, so we'll just leave that at that. Oh, look at that, the items finally despawned, wow. Took a little bit for them too, but they finally did, okay. So I think I'm just going to use up pretty much most of the remaining stone brick that I have available to me for the walls, just because, of course, this has to get done. So we'll use up this stack next, and we'll see where this ends up going. And okay, so I'm going to go 2 more blocks to match this portion of the wall. So this stack will probably go all the way to the corner, and then I'll have to grab another. and it is going to have to go downstairs. So this area right here, this space right here, is going to be used for stairs to go down to this level. So that's actually kind of good that I designed it that way. That way I can actually have the stairs that go down. And there we go. Now, before we conclude out this video, I'm going to go ahead and start by placing the bookshelves all over the place. I did say there was going to be some on the wall. However, I want to start with the ones on the floor first. So they're going to go in the, I'm going to say probably this orientation. So going from this wall to this wall rather than from this wall to this wall. And what I mean by that is that next to the stairs, there's obviously going to be a railing here. So just pretend that's going to be the railing. So I want to have at least a 2-block space here. So that means the bookshelf should theoretically go here. And then I have another 2-block space because the birch is probably going to sit in between them. And then I will have the bookshelves on this side as well. Because I'm thinking that the back walls will have the bookshelf designs and the front wall as well, but the side walls will not. They'll just have dug in designs. So I'll dig into the stone brick and I'll put designs there. And I'm thinking that this will probably go out to this point, and then same for over here. So we did have enough bookshelves to do that at least, but of course not enough to go up. So I'm going to have to consider that. And eventually in the future, I may actually break these out every 2 blocks, just like this. I know it's going to make it into books, but at least I get my books back. So just like that, and then over here, I may have to actually push this whole thing back one just because of this. So I'll go ahead and place the log here, and then a log here, and finally one here. So these are just placeholders for when that comes in the future. Then of course on the other side, I'm going to have to move these over one. So I'm just going to break this entire row and replace them off camera. Because, yeah, this whole row is going to have to be pushed back one, but that's fine. And this is just so it doesn't overlap with the birch path on this side, because I did not want this block to be covered by a pillar. So I want the entirety of the birch in this row to be completely unobstructed. That's just my goal for this. Alright, and that's going to go ahead and conclude it for today's video. So, if I can actually get on top of the stairs to end this, wow, just flew right off. Alright, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.